Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for your patience today. I'm Mark Trowbridge with our Coral Gables Chamber of Commerce. And as always, I'm joined by the inimitable Grant Miller, Miami's community newspapers. And that is the song Taking Care of Business, because we as a chamber and Grant as a community newspaper, publisher, extraordinary gentleman, well, that's what he does each and every day. Grant, I never say this enough, but, you run a family business.
Well, my brother, we've been doing it for 40 years.
40 years, your father before you guys. It's pretty impressive. You know how many businesses make it to a second generation?
So
less than half, my friend, and less than a half of those make it to a third.
Michael makes it clear to let everybody know that for the first 25 years, he was 64 steps away from me.
Oh.
He always wanted to make sure I'm far enough. And Michael would say, I would say, Michael, we're very busy. He says, tell me when I should come back to the office. He's want to make sure we don't overstep. Well, today is National.
I like when you call him Mike, by the way.
No, it's
very
Michael.
Informal. No,
Michael.
I know, but
National Parent Day Off.
Yep. So I don't know
National
what our parents are doing out there, but they're hiding.
Log Day. What is it? Oh, today's the best one. National Creamfield Donut Day.
Yum.
And then National Eat a Hoagie Day.
I had a hoagie for lunch.
Where?
Because of I got it from Jimmy John's, one of our members on Miracle Mile.
Oh, speak about donuts.
It was quite delicious.
Mojo is going to be opening his new location at the car wash.
El Car Wash there in Kendall.
Yeah. What do you call that? Kendall? Do you call it Metro Zoo?
I call everything that's on
Palmetto Bay West.
152nd. I call it Kendall area.
Palmetto Bay West.
South Dade.
Okay. National
Cream-filled donut
Business
day.
Week.
Do you think Andres has brought us a cream-filled donut?
No, not at all.
Hmm.
So, National Small Business Week. When was that?
It's yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Yesterday, we did a kickoff event.
Where?
We did it on Instagram Live with a good colleague of ours, Yvonne Bucagnani from Amerant Bank, talking about what small businesses should be doing in these continuing uncertainties of COVID. And we talked about everything from, applying for SBA-related programs and products to having a very, strong relationship with your personal banker and, getting all your financial paperwork in order with your CPA, maybe opening a line of credit, things like that, so that, if the uncertainties continue and we deal with some of these stressors and these variants, that you are ready to go.
Just want to make clear, we have our class, even though I've already had my booster. Have you had your booster?
I have.
So we cannot get any better.
I'm triple vaxxed. I had COVID, and we have this class in between us. So
I think we're okay.
I hope so.
Okay, so special holiday coming up tomorrow.
That's right. Tomorrow night, Yom Kippur begins at sundown for our Jewish brothers and sisters. And I will say this, that you don't say Happy Yom Kippur because it is a day of atonement. So you say, may you have an easy fast, because those who are commemorating and are observing will fast the entire day and then have a break of fast.
Now I know why I don't like this
time.
holiday, because I can't fast 24 hours.
That's a long time, but folks are very dedicated to their faith. The New Year, Rosh Hashanah, was last week, and now 10 days later is a day of atonement. And so may all of you have an easy fast.
Wait, let's talk about something really important. Last weekend, great football weekend. We got the Gators that won.
Gators won 42-20 over USF. The Hurricanes eked it out. Yeah, about 87,000 people.
And was it Tampa, right?
It was at Raymond James Stadium, so a really big crowd. And I think it was the first time that we had been down there for a regular season game. I don't know, probably in 50 years. And
we are the Gators, he means.
Yes, I'm sorry. The Gators had been down to Tampa and in a regular season game. We've been in a number of bowl games down there at the Outback Bowl and things like that over the last decade or so. I think 4 or 5 of those.
But more than important that the Hurricanes, a win's a win. I'd rather have an ugly win than
a win's a win. And I think, sometimes the fans get a little bit frustrated, especially with a program that is as heralded as Miami. But my biggest takeaway about that game was you better be ready every week. Can't overlook anybody on your schedule.
Ask Florida State.
Appalachian State is a decent team. They knocked off a U of M many years ago, University of Michigan.
Okay, here's the quiz
And they were
for you.
aiming to do it again, and they came really close, if not for that unbelievable kick
Okay,
by a true freshman.
here's a good question.
Are you knocking? Come in.
How many Cuban American D1 coaches are there? Not head coaches, but it better. Yeah, I'm leading to the question. Offensive coordinator, Cuban American for Appalachian State. What high school did he coach in Dade County?
Wow.
Good question. Good answer. Miami High.
He's the offensive coordinator. I would have said Miami High, the Stingerees.
Frank Ponce.
Oh.
Ponce. And more
And
power
he's
to
the
him.
OC?
What?
He's the offensive coordinator.
Yes.
Okay.
So congratulations to him. And
great game. My observation of that game was that the crowd was more interested in a dangling cat than what was actually going on on the field. So maybe that cat needs to come back every week so that people.
Here's college football is exciting.
Sure,
but
that's why you play the game.
Oregon State,
Oregon
beat Ohio first
State.
time in who knows 20, 30 years that a Pacific team beat a D1 top 10 team. Am I correct?
On the road like that, it's their first top victory like that. Do you think that we made a mistake by letting Mario Cristobal get away from us?
The best thing that happened to Mario, I want to know the best thing is Pete Garcia firing him. He left there. He went to Alabama.
Alabama worked under Nick for a year or two.
One or two, and he went to Oregon State.
And then he went to Oregon.
But what's great about this guy, Mario, he took his offensive line player who played with him at Columbus. They coached him at FIU. He went to Alabama. The other coach, Alex, went to Marshall. They both went to Oregon. After the game, he gave a shout out to his high school coach, Coach Mario, who he says, I better show a good game. My high school coach, Dennis Lavelle, is in the stands. That is a great shout out. And they're all from Columbus, and they all grew up in Westchester.
Yeah, it's nice, that loyalty, and also remembering that you came from somewhere. Somebody taught you, and now he's teaching others. And I wish Mario a great amount of success. I don't follow the Pac-10 very much, but I do know that Oregon for a long time was always in the mix. UCLA, USC just fired their coach yesterday. Stanford's been a standout organization in that conference in almost every sport. They win the President's Cup almost every year for the number of national championships and runner-up finishes that they have. They're a top performer in football, as I mentioned, but they're also a top performer in things like tennis. You have great gymnasts at UCLA. It's a great conference. And Chip Kelly's got UCLA Bruins kind of brewing for the first time. That's what's brewing, ladies and gentlemen.
So, but more important than
Is
the
there
tennis.
anything more important than football?
Tennis. More important than Gators. More important than Hurricanes.
I love tennis. I was really
Saturday
really
morning.
bummed.
Come on, what do you do Saturday morning?
I'm at the gym bright and early. So
what time?
This week I was there a little bit later. I didn't get till 10:30 because I was doing a glute max class. And so it wasn't until 10:30. 45 minutes of working on your glutes and hammies and your thighs. And you're doing everything from lunges to band work to, all kinds of things. Squats galore.
So I understand there were all women but 3 men.
There were 3 dudes in the class, and I was one of them.
Dudes. Excuse me.
I was
dudes.
all the way in the back row. So after all is said and done, finish the class, thrilled that I'm not dead, go up and decide, you know what, I'm going to go and sit in the steam room. Let that eucalyptus kind of seep into my pores. So when you open the door to the steam room, a bunch of steam comes out. So you honestly have no idea if anybody's in there because it's kind of dark. And so you have to wait till you close the door and let your eyes adjust. And you can't move too quick because you could accidentally sit on someone's lap.
Really?
Well, yeah, because it's not a big space. So I let my eyes adjust, and there's this guy in there. So I sit down kind of a little bit over from him, and he's like, hey, you were just in the glute class. I go, yeah. He goes, yeah, I was watching you. He said, you did a pretty good job. And I said, listen, I appreciate it. My goal is threefold. 1, not to fall over.
Right.
2, not to accidentally pass gas. And 3,
Thanks for informing us.
try to keep up so that I'm actually getting the benefits of the workout. So,
I thought of you today because I had cheesecake at Stevens and Hialeah, the Jewish deli. So
I can only imagine that was divine, and you never invite me to that, but I hear that deli is really great.
University of Florida is ranked what?
Number 5 amongst public institutions. We moved up yet again.
Academically,
one
we're
space.
not talking football.
Not football. This is U.S. News and World Report's annual college rankings. So a number of years ago, our president, Kent Fox, came in and said, my goal is to get University of Florida as a top 5 public. And people kind of scoff. We'd never been even rarely in the
You were
top
number one
10.
partying.
What's that?
UF used to be a big party.
We were. Playboy named us the number 1 party school back in the 80s. And my mother was completely offended by that. And I said, don't worry, I'm not reading Playboy. So most importantly, this
good.
has been a real investment. The faculty, the administration, the board of trustees, and the state. And yesterday we found out that we went from 6 to 5. And we're super excited. And, it's based on 16 or 17 different metrics. But one area that we've really excelled in the last year at UF is alumni engagement and giving. Last year, in just a one-day program, kind of like Give Day is here, we did Gator Give Day. And 22,000 people gave over $25 million in one day.
Wow.
To the university.
And
the money's great, but the engagement is better. The fact that 22,000 alumni stepped forward and said, you know what, I'm going to engage, I'm going to make a gift, I'm going to do something for my alma mater. They noticed that in the rankings because alumni engagement is worth about 3% in the formula. And, that may be what helped move the needle from 6 to 5. So, the top 5, UCLA is number 1, UC Berkeley number 2, University of Michigan number 3, number 4, University of Virginia, and UF is number 5.
Our producer, Andres, where did you go to school?
NYU.
Yes, and NYU is in the top 10 as well.
Yeah, but we haven't had a football team since 1932. So.
I know, but we're not talking about football. We're talking about your academics and what's going to
now
help you get a great job.
Okay, what about UM? It dropped to what?
Fortunately, UM dropped out of the top 50 down to 55. So I'm sure they're, assessing that, and I'm sure under Dr. Frank's leadership, they're going to address that. And, they've been a top 50 program for a number of years. Donna Shalala had them as high as number 38 when she was president. And that's all universities, not just publics. That's every university. And that was even higher than UF. I remember her famously saying, we're going to beat UF twice this year. We're going to beat them on the field, and we're going to beat them in the rankings.
You got to love that.
She was wrong about the field. We beat them that year at home. But she was right about the rankings. And then UF got to business. And yesterday, the governor was there. And
where?
At the announcement.
That was at
he went down to Gainesville.
Oh, no.
And he was there that morning. We had a 9:30 a.m. yesterday where they went live with the announcement.
So he was in Gainesville. Today he's in Doral talking some education stuff.
That's great.
Tomorrow he's that governor. He's all over.
He is on the move.
Yes. Downtown cleanup. When's this?
So on the 30th of this month, so in a couple of weeks, we are going to be working with Mayor Lago and the businesses and our partners at the bid, and we're going to do a Keep Coral Gables Beautiful cleanup in the business community. So 6 p.m. And it's open to anybody and everybody that wants to come downtown and pick up some trash. We'll give you garbage bags, gloves, pickers.
City employees are going to be there, or is it just?
I think it's going to be mostly chamber, bid, and other folks and the commissioners. They've all been invited.
They're going to pick up trash where? Sorry, Miracle Mile.
Miracle Mile, Giralda Plaza, up and down Alhambra, where our office is. Aragon.
Okay, I'm not going to get into that business, but I walk a lot of streets in Coral Gables. The streets are pretty clean.
They are, but we're used to a higher standard. And so he showed off some pictures today at the commission meeting, which, looked pretty rough. We don't want any part of the downtown to look shabby in any way. We want it to be pristine. And he showed examples of businesses that are doing that are getting out there and pressure cleaning, that are getting out there and picking up trash. And places like Bashur do a great job with that. So that's the goal.
Why did you do that to me? Why did you even bring that up? The
Make you
best
hungry.
dessert place in maybe South Florida.
It's got a lot going for it. I had.
I don't eat the main meals. I just go there.
Yeah,
for
I had
desserts.
brunch there on Sunday with my sister-in-law
Wait,
who's in
wait.
town.
I could have went to brunch with you guys.
Were you available?
Yeah.
Oh. You always seem like, you've got 1,000 things going
Yeah,
on.
but I
had
rather
been at Fairchild that morning at the plant sale. Bought a really cool new plant
I
that I'm
wouldn't have
going to
been
have to figure out where to plant it. During COVID, I've had 3 things that I've fallen in love with.
What's his name?
One is plants and flowers in my garden. 2, TikTok. And 3, my personal fitness. So
That's the most important thing.
there you
All
go.
right. So city commission meeting today. What happened there?
So we presented on the 10 meetings that we've had and kind of what the next steps are. We announced this branding campaign called Taking Care of Business, which means that you need to get out there and take care of your storefront, pressure clean it, pick up the gum, the trash, the weeds, make sure your windows are pristine and clean. And if you're a retailer, that you've got some type of engagement there where the windows look really great and inviting. It's not just for you and your business, not just for you and your patrons, but it's also for the folks who might be looking at Coral Gables as the next great place to open their store, to open their concept. So we want the downtown to sparkle.
When you say it's pressure clean the sidewalk, the city sidewalk or your sidewalk?
So, typically in front of most buildings, there is property you're responsible for, and then there's right of way. And, we like the fact that, you always think someone else is going to do it, but you've got to take some ownership of that. So.
Well, that's great. I think the city looks good, but I'm glad that the chamber is moving forward and making even bigger issues. Okay.
But can I just mention one more thing, with Small Business Week, normally that's in May, but, this year it's in September. And again, it's mostly virtual. But yesterday we did a kickoff event, as I mentioned, with Amerant Bank. And then today I was on a panel with the U.S. Chamber representing our community and our local chambers on a small business panel. So thank you, Tom Sullivan and U.S. Chamber, for the invitation. I was one of the guest speakers along with the CEO of the Memphis Chamber.
Memphis?
And it's pretty cool. So tell me who their biggest investor and member is.
What?
FedEx.
Of course, that's the hometown.
They're headquartered right there in Memphis.
Okay.
And she told me that she's got members who pay between $25,000 and $400,000 a year for their membership. Our membership starts at $300.
Now, how big a chamber is it? How many members?
I don't know that, but obviously it's the only game in town, so she's probably got a really big cross section of members. So.
Okay, it's been 1 year since you had your opening of your new.
We
location.
did. We moved September 10th, and this Friday, the 17th, we're doing an open house, and I'm ready to tell you a few things that we're going to be doing.
I'm excited.
We're coalescing with National Parking Day, so 3 spaces out front of our building will be offline, creating kind of a little event space, barricaded. And our theme is why we love the Gables. So we'll be focusing on elevating retail, restaurants, international, service firms, real estate. All of those things will be activated. Our great golf courses, our amazing historical assets. So come on out. We'll have some eats throughout the day, but most importantly, if you haven't seen our beautiful office space, this is an invitation for you on Friday from 10 to 3:30.
Wow. And you're a little busy that day.
I am busy that day. I've got a workout in the morning with my trainer. Then I've got a 9 o'clock Chamber Engagement 101. Then you and I are together with the Lieutenant Governor. And I'll be back in the early afternoon to bring it home.
Bring the
Taking care of business.
Okay. And the morning breakfast?
Yeah, the 23rd. Sold out. We got a pretty long waiting list. So appreciate all of you who have been patient. I mean, there's obviously challenges in that we're still social distancing. So capacity will be at about 65% instead of 100%. So, anytime we do an indoor event, I'm a lot more cautious and cognizant of making sure that we don't pack the house is our tendency on.
Can you bring those questions back to the statements you just had?
I saw a couple of things from George. George wrote, I love that Miami Springs project. Did anyone talk about the parking issue at the Circle? So George is letting you know that I have been appointed to a committee to study not only our current business cross-section, but also our recovery. And there are 11 of us on the committee, and I'm the chair.
All right, good. Thank you for bringing up Miami Springs. Great little community. Okay, we got September calendar. You got chamber engagement. You got the open house. You got something the impact.
We got a lot going on. So we've got a women's lunch next week. We've got the
That's virtual?
breakfast.
That's
That
virtual.
is virtual. Slowly but surely, we're looking to bring events back into the live sphere. But the problem is twofold. One, I don't want to eliminate anybody's ability to participate because they are not ready and comfortable to be indoors. And two, we're having to watch, the progress that we're making. Our positivity rate is still pretty high.
What is it now?
I want to say it's around 12, 13%.
I thought it dropped for 10 a couple days ago.
Yeah, and then it spiked up just a little bit. And we got to worry about that because we just had Labor Day, and a lot of folks were traveling, went to big, audacious football games.
Across the country. That is the great thing about it. It's not a political Republican, Democrat. Nobody cared.
No, people love football.
So Friday night, about 1 or 2 o'clock, I get a headache. I feel like I'm having a cold. I'm flipping out. So of course, I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Get there at 6:05 at Tropical Park.
Oh boy!
Get tested.
You're fine.
2 hours later, as soon as I got tested positive, whatever what I was allergic to went away.
Tested negative.
Tested negative.
Yeah.
But it's thank you whoever's coordinating that. I guess the mayor of Dade County.
Yeah,
sure it's open 24
That's under
hours.
the leadership of Daniela Levine Cava, but also her chiefs and other team members, and they're doing 3 things there, right? They're doing testing, they're doing vaccine, and then if you've been exposed and positive, that's the local test site for the distribution of the kind of antidote.
Right. And
I
I hear it works.
The name of it.
I hear it's great. Okay, so
got to do it within like 48 hours.
Correct. Annual conference, November. What's the story?
Yeah, so we're working with Doctors Hospital to try to get that back on the schedule for early November. We do have our gem dinner set. That's on Monday, November the 8th, honoring Ron Sheffield of Berkshire Hathaway. And, slowly but surely putting stuff back into the calendar. In October, I think we'll go from kind of 2 to 3 in-person events to maybe 5 or 6. We've been doing our Wind Down Wednesday, so we'll continue that. But we'll add the Reconnect to the mix. I think we'll leave probably the Tro Nose and the book club virtually. And I think we'll try to get the women's lunch back in person, Impact back in person, and of course the breakfast. So that's about 5 events.
Right off the bat.
And then, for the most part, we'll continue to monitor where we are. My fingers are crossed that the Labor Day festivities that we just had are not going to have a negative deleterious effect.
So we got coming up. Oh, talk about memberships. How last month you had a great month. What's going on with that?
Last month we had 43. The month before that, 41. So just in 2 months, we had 84 new members, 110 over the last quarter, which is pretty significant. So right now we're at about 13. We are approximately 9 days into the month, and we've got 21 business days, and the goal is to be at 27. So
wow,
we're a little ahead of halfway there and a little bit ahead of halfway there.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
and
it's great.
Again, we talked about it last show. Every time that you do have the Wind Down Wednesday, I see all new people, a younger crowd.
Yeah.
I say it's younger. It's probably not younger. I'm just probably getting older.
Well, I think that's all relative. But the new thing that I'm noticing is that a lot of those members that have joined aren't rejoining. It's all new faces. It's all new people. It's new companies and new opportunities. I do think that what we do is we put a product out there that is superior, and so people want to be aligned with that. And secondly, and most importantly, is that they're thirsting and hungry for, even if it's a little bit, wearing a mask, being socially distant, they're hungering to do that work collaboratively and face to face, not in the Zoom.
So the show started a few minutes late.
What
were you doing?
So I apologize to those of you that were logged in and wondering what's going on, but I took a tour today of a trustee member of ours who built an unbelievable surgical center for regenerative medicine and health. And it's Dr. Ramos at Gentera. Brian, who is running the office, did everything from A to Z. And I'm actually going to go back and see the good doc tomorrow morning, do some blood work. So
what does that do? What is?
So I want to focus on 3 areas. I want to continue to have some good weight loss, and I want to have my energy even higher, and I want some cognitive support. So there are some things that they can do holistically, some things that they can do, without it being a full-fledged, piece of medicine or pill. but some things that'll work with my body and my unique chemistry.
Morgan, thank you for that you're there.
Yeah, I think those are the 13 that represent the first part of the month of September. And so, it's really important. Our new fiscal year started last Wednesday, so we're only about 6 days in. And the other thing that's really important to note is that, we are unrelenting in our pursuit of recovery and getting folks back to work and doing so in a healthy way so they can fully patronize all of our wonderful businesses.
Our gems?
Yeah, the gems are great. We're starting to put together a plan of action and program for them. We're doing a luncheon event with Chef Adrian at Forte.
Really?
And so we've invited our board members, our trustees, and our gems to that.
Expensive, huh?
It is a little expensive, but it's a 3-course meal on a Monday.
Who's paying for that?
Individuals will pay for it. They'll pay exactly what we pay. So it's not about making
Nice.
any dollars, but coming in, if you haven't seen the restaurant, and Chef Adrian's committed to be there and come around and greet people.
Getting to know
So it's Monday, October 4th. Getting to know you.
All about you.
Getting to know all about you.
Chef Adrian's food is outstanding.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
The team is, I hear that team, I don't know if it's her team or part of the team is rebringing John Martin back.
Oh, I don't know that.
They're coming
I
back.
know that space is Terra Nova and that they had originally reached out to Martin Lynch to be a little bit, of a, John Martin's whisperer, restaurant whisperer.
I understand they're coming back. Somebody's taking it over.
Yeah.
I don't know who.
It'll have that vibe in the old John Martin space.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be called that, but it'll be some reimagination.
What's Martin's last name?
Martin Lynch.
He's a great.
So much fun. Such a great guy.
You remember he used to have a place down in Pinecrest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Where Flanagan's
Maybe
was.
before my time.
Yes.
And it was a John Martin's?
I don't know what it was, but it was him. He was there.
I don't know what's going on. I'm just here for the ride.
Okay, so what's next with Core Gables Chamber?
So, halfway through September as of tomorrow, lots on our plate in terms of the rest of the month, October and first quarter. We're working on, a number of initiatives that go beyond the borders of the chamber, but locally, it's all about being an advocate, being a cheerleader, and being an evangelist for our small businesses. We do that every single day. We're fully committed to that.
You get a haircut?
I did. I got a haircut on Saturday. I get my haircut every 2 weeks. So I got up 6:45, did a little tidying up around the house, came over to the 9/11 commemoration at the city of Coral Gables.
I hear it's beautiful.
Beautiful. Then I went and got my haircut and got a pedicure, and then I was at the gym doing my gluteus max out.
So you got a busy morning.
I'm back to my routine, which was go, go, go. So the time I finished at the gym, I got dressed and went over to my nephew's. Gator game was at 1, watched the Gator game, went home, watched the U.S. Open. And, it's never dull, my friend. I feel like I'm using all of my energy to, build back the life that I was missing for the last 18 months.
So,
Broadway's opening tonight. I'm super jealous, but super happy. Officially, after 18 months, they're reopening tonight. Performances by Wicked and by Hamilton. It's going to be fantastic. And I can't wait to go to New York to take full advantage of that.
Is our center opening more?
Yeah, they're doing their Broadway series not until December, so they pushed it back like 2 months. So Poetic Stage, which I'm on the board for, will be open and have a run of show here probably in October, November. Gables Stage is coming back on the 29th or 30th of October. And Barbara's back with an unbelievable show in October, starring the likes of Adrian Zmed, who was in T.J. Hooker, to Didi Khan, who was in Grease. She played Frenchie. Beauty School Dropout.
Don't know that one. All right, so it's time to wrap it up.
First of all, I knew you wouldn't know that one, but I was here to help you.
Oh, I thank you.
How come I never talk about your weekends?
My weekends are very boring.
Really?
Sunday night, I was very exciting. I went to the Mexican celebration. It's the Independence.
Over at the park?
No. It was at Miami-Dade College.
Was that the one with
indoors? And for you people,
was that the one though with the Consul General Jonathan Chait?
look at that.
Hecho in Mexico. What does that mean?
Viva Mexico.
No,
What's
that would
it-
be Viva Mexico.
What's it mean?
Made in Mexico.
Made. I knew that. I knew.
Right, Andres?
Approximately 2,000 people showed up. It was beautiful.
Wonderful.
Miami-Dade, who didn't run it, but they orchestrated it, was incredible what they did.
That's Alex's campus.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Doc, for my great shirt and for being super awesome and for being part of the Miami-Dade family.
And then
Children's Trust Board meeting last night, by the way, set our mills at 0.5, which is the capacity that we can do so that we can do some additional things next year with our nonprofits coming out of COVID and as part of the recovery efforts. So that will be a slight tax increase for the average household, but probably for most less than $20 a year.
a year.
$160 million that goes to children and families in our community. The minute I blink my eyes, that money is gone, allocated, spent. Direct services. We have the lowest overhead of any nonprofit that's doing.
Who's the chairman? Not
The
chairman.
chairman is Kenneth Hoffman, and our CEO is Jimmy Hodge, James Hodge,
James Hodge.
H-A-G. He came from the school from the school system.
Exciting.
It's wonderful. Thrilled to be on that board. I serve as our treasurer. I've got a lot of things going on in the community. It was a way to give back. It's always been what I've done. When I got to the Super Bowl, I worked for Hank Adorno. One of the things he told me and others, if you're going to join an organization, then lead. Step up and lead. Don't just sit in the back, the back pew as Trowbridges do. Step up and lead.
Well, you do it, and the Coral Gables Chamber does it. And if you want to be involved with a great chamber, join the Coral Gables Chamber. And as you would say, if it's not Coral Gables Chamber, join a chamber, get involved. Just don't join get involved. Am I correct?
Absolutely. It's like me when I used to pay for membership at Gold's Gym. They charge my debit card every month, $39, and I hadn't been there in maybe 3, 4, 5 months. And it's just like, it's not even the money that's spent. It's the time and the frustration. So use your time wisely. And like Grant said, I do always say, if you don't want to join us, then join somebody. Your chambers have been essential through the entirety of COVID, through the entirety of the pandemic. And so now's the time to support them, give back to them. If you've paid any attention to what your chambers are doing locally, I hope you are in as awe as I am of our team, because we just get it done and we just stay focused. And, there are days of heartbreak, but I know this: people love Coral Gables. They love our restaurants. They love our retail. And by coming together, they have every opportunity to thrive. So buy local, shop local, spend local, love local.
Have a great day.